We have some valid concerns for Pokemon Legends ZA. Obviously, this is the next Pokemon game, and we haven't had a mainline Pokemon game in 3 years. So we want this game to be good, right? I think the fans are expecting a pretty good, thoroughly built Pokemon game. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as the graphics go, the storyline goes, and in-game content. But we have some concerns that may suggest that the content might not be as big as we're hoping. So recently it was announced by, Nintendo themselves that Pokemon Legends ZA is going to be around 5 gigabytes on the Switch 1, and that the Switch 2 version is going to be around 10 gigabytes, which, makes sense because the Switch 2 version is just going to be like an upgraded version with better graphics, more frames. We're getting 60 FPS, I believe 4K with ZA on the Switch 2, and I don't think there's going to be any additional content as far as the game goes on the Switch 1 and 2. Like, the Switch 2 is definitely not going to have any additional gameplay or features or Pokemon. It's going to be the exact same game. The Switch 2 version is going to run the game better. And why this is concerning is because the game may be a smaller scope than we were kind of expecting. Think about Legends Arceus. Legends Arceus was 6.1 gigabytes, which the game was pretty big. Like, I think the map was all pretty sizable, but the one thing about Legends Arceus that I wasn't the biggest fan of, and now let me say this first, Legends Arceus is my favorite Pokemon game on the Switch, so I'm not really hating on Legends Arceus. I'm just pointing something out here, guys. I'm literally just pointing it out. There was kind of a lack of like additional content other than the mainline story. Like, the mainline story is really cool. We did have a lot of side quests. Like, we did have a really good amount of side quests, but they weren't like big, meaningful side quests. It was like pretty simple little stuff. Typically, it involved just catching Pokemon, like different types of Pokemon, different size of Pokemon. So as far as like different, unique, big side missions and stuff, we didn't really have much of that. And obviously the map was pretty empty. I mean, I know the game is ancient Sinnoh. I think it took place like 200 or so years before the events of Generation 4, like the Gen 4 games. So for that reason, there weren't really like many civilizations just kind of out and about with the Legends Arceus map because of the fact that game took place so far in the past. But like I said, I really did enjoy Legends Arceus. Definitely my favorite Pokemon game on the Switch. It definitely did have pretty big open zones and large areas and stuff like that. So a 5 gigabyte file size is crazy for ZA, especially since obviously from the trailers, the map seems pretty big. It's going to be taking place in the city, which obviously is a concern on its own, which I'm honestly not too concerned about it taking place solely in the city. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Mainly because, it's not like every single Pokemon game going on into the future is going to be taking place in the city. This is probably a one-time thing where this Pokemon game specifically is going to be taking place in just a city. And obviously we have the wild zones, and I think the map is going to be pretty big. It's definitely going to be smaller than this Scarlet and Violet Paldea map, which that map is actually huge if you really think about it. But the ZA map, I think, is still going to be a big map. I just don't think it's going to be as big as Paldea. But it's kind of crazy. How is Legends ZA going to be a smaller file size than Legends Arceus? Especially since this is a new game. I'm hoping that this does not mean we're going to have fewer areas, less content, and more limitation on like our exploration throughout the entire map. It's just confusing because this game is taking place in a fully urbanized Lumio city. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's NPCs all over the place. There are a ton of buildings, which I hope we get to go into a lot of buildings. In like every classic Pokemon game, we got to go into pretty much every single building. Like 99% of buildings that we see we can go into. So I'm hoping that this game is not going to have just like a bunch of empty buildings and stuff like that. I want to be able to go into a building, look around, go up the elevators and stuff, just like we were in like some of the classic Pokemon games. A lot of people, including myself, were kind of speculating that this game could expand into Kalos region just a little bit, like maybe post game, maybe a DLC could give us like Southern Kalos, or maybe the opportunity to go to a different part of Kalos. But it may suggest with the smaller file size that it's pretty much going to be only Lumio City. No different routes, no forests, no biomes, just limited environmental variety, which I'm hoping is not the case here. Now, the Pokedex was leaked to be like roughly the same size as Legends Arceus, like about 220 or 240 or so Pokemon, which I think is fine. I'm honestly okay with that because it's a Legends game. It's not like this is a new generation. A brand new generation like Generation 10 should have a really big Pokedex, right? But this being a Legends game, which is still a mainline Pokemon game, having a smaller Pokedex isn't a big deal to me because that's still a lot of Pokemon, and we're getting all the brand new Mega Evolutions. I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping that we're going to get some of these brand new Mega Evolutions in the game. So that itself is a selling point of this game and definitely one of the most hyped up things about this game in general. I also am hoping that the smaller file size doesn't mean that the story is going to be shorter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want this game to be a pretty lengthy game. I feel like the average Pokemon game, like if you're playing, you know, pretty much just the main storyline, not really doing many side missions or like doing any other random things, like leveling up your Pokemon to like max level and stuff like that. I feel like the average Pokemon game takes roughly like 20 to 30 hours to beat. Like Legends Arceus took me like 25 hours to like beat that game. As far as like the mainline story goes, not 100% of course. Like if you're talking about 100%ing a game, that takes a long time. A lot of Pokemon games have so many different things, and to 100% that game, it would be like maybe 100 hours, maybe 200 hours. I guess it depends on which Pokemon game you're really talking about. I'm hoping that this game has big storylines, you know what I'm saying? I really do hope we get a lot of side quests, though. Like, we're getting Detective Emma in this game. Hopefully Looker is coming back, but I think with the detective stuff, I'm hoping that allows us to have a ton of new side quests, side missions, and I hope that they're meaningful. Like, I hope it's not as simple as just like, okay, go catch 5 different Skarmory and bring them to me, or like catch a ginormous Skarmory or something like that. I hope that these missions are gonna be like, okay, there's a missing Pokemon, we have to go find them. We have to go down an entire just like big in-depth storyline trying to find this missing Pokemon for a random NPC or something. Like, that's the type of stuff that I want to see. I don't think it's gonna have voice acting in this game. What's interesting though is I'm pretty sure Legends Arceus had a leak of where it was supposed to actually have voice acting in it, so it seems like voice acting is on the minds of the people at Game Freak, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the future Pokemon games are gonna have some voice acting. I'm hoping Generation 10 could have even just voice acting for like the main characters, not even just like all the random NPCs and random other characters, but I don't think ZA is gonna have voice acting, unfortunately, but maybe one day, guys, one day it's gonna happen. What also is concerning about like having less of a storyline, like a shorter storyline, less campaign, and like less meaningful missions, is that the replayability of the game may not be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the replayability of all the older Pokemon games, you could really play some of those old Pokemon games unlimited times and have so many new experiences. I mean, even with Scarlet and Violet, to be honest, I think the replayability of that game is pretty high. I could totally see myself replaying those games, which I have never actually replayed them. I just kind of hop on it every now and then and maybe catch a couple shinies or just do whatever, roam around, just have some fun. And one of the biggest issues with modern Pokemon games would be the graphics. I hope that the visuals of this game is going to be really good, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hoping that the Switch 1 version looks good. I don't think it's going to release as bad as Scarlet and Violet were when they were released. I really do think that ZA is going to be better on the Switch 1 than Scarlet and Violet were. I'm just hoping that the game doesn't have bugs and, you know, glitches and skips and jumps and stuff like that, because I'll be playing this game on the Switch 2, which hopefully I could buy a Switch 2 copy if they're not sold out. But I guess if I can't, then I could get the Switch 1 version and like upgrade it. That way I can play it on the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, which actually would be kind of interesting. However, I really hope that for the people that are going to play this game on the Switch 1, that it looks good, because, you know, if we're playing a video game, it should look good. Video games are so much more fun when they look good. And now, I made a whole video about, like, Pokemon graphics and stuff, and talking about how, like, we don't want, like, realistic Pokemon graphics, like, to look like real life, but we just want, like, you know, that cool, fun, animated, original kind of style with a Pokemon game. File size, though, it could also show like there may not be any multiplayer features. I'd hope we could at least like trade Pokemon and stuff like that. I would love like a battle mode where you could battle players online. I mean, maybe it's gonna happen. I feel like that probably wouldn't take up that much data and storage, but who knows, guys? I'm just hoping that this game is going to be a worthwhile game for the 3-year wait that we've had. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't had a Pokemon game since 2022. 2023, sure, we did have the Scarlet and Violet DLC, but that's not a brand new Pokemon game. That's just the DLC, which was fun. I enjoyed the DLC a lot. However, 3 years, no Pokemon game. I'm hoping ZA is going to be something special. I hope that the smaller file size is not as big of a concern as we're kind of all thinking it actually is going to be. Mainly because of the fact that it's like, bro, this is Pokemon, the biggest media franchise ever. I hope that this game is good. I really like the Kalos region. I like Mega Evolution. I like the new battle animations, the new battle style for this game, and I'm excited to play it. I really am looking forward to this game. I'm extremely optimistic. Like, if you ask me, I think the game is going to be good, but I do have concerns. I think that's good. I feel like we all should have concerns about every single Pokemon game, because that means we can have a better game in the future. You know what I'm saying? Game Freak should always be striving to build a better and better Pokemon game as the years go on. Let me know your thoughts about the smaller file size for the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 for ZA, because like I said, the Switch 1 is going to be 5 gigabytes, Switch 2 is going to be 10 gigabytes, which makes sense because of the visual upgrades and stuff like that. But let me know what you are concerned about. I personally think the game is still going to be good, like I said, but let me know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications so you don't miss Pokemon leaks, news, updates, or just Nintendo videos and stuff like that in general. And if you guys don't mind helping me reach my goal of 30,000 subscribers before the end of August, any support truly does go such a long way. And thank you to the member of the week, Raymond. You are the GOAT, bro. Thank you so much for being a channel member. If you guys want to become a channel member, you get some like bonus behind the scenes content, some extra footage and stuff like that. And you also get an exclusive role and chat in my Discord server, which is in the description below if you want to check out the Discord server. Anyone can join the Discord, but you know, if you're a member, you get like a special access to a different chat. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the GOATs. All your support means so much to me, guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.